Hi everyone, in this video what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about the synchronization theory and also about the new synchronization framework that we will be releasing. So we decided to publish part of the synchronization framework as an open source version. So in here I'm showing you the documentation for the SyncFramework for XPO. So since now we want to also cover entity framework, we have separated the synchronization parts from XPO and basically create a set of interfaces that if you implement it in the right way, you can synchronize basically anything. So in this case, the XPO provider is still like closed source, but the shared part which do the synchronization is open, and also the implementation for entity framework is open. So here I have the repository for that new source. As you can see, there is nothing there. I mean, there's no documentation or anything, but I will do a demonstration of this code today. So basically, this is a work in progress. I mean, it does work already, but there is a lot to be done, like regarding documentation and maybe some refactoring and cleanup. But anyway, and also I will be using this presentation today. You can download, I will put all these URLs in the description of the video. So basically, what we want to do with the synchronization framework is the same goal that we did with the synchronization framework for XPO. So here, this is the presentation that I use for XPO. And basically, we want to provide the same functionality, which is delta encoding. That basically, that's the how you save each difference that you make on each database. And basically, what is important is to keep all the difference stored in one place, because if you use this difference and put them together all at once, you will end up with the original result. So basically, that's the delta equation that, for example, this basically means that basically a database or anything that you're synchronizing, it will be the sum or the union of all the possible changes that you have done to the database. So you will see it more clearly maybe here. So if all of the databases has the same structure, and you save the changes that you do to each of them, then if you put them together in all of them, you will have the exact same copy. So you can see it's something like in here. Basically, in the master, you execute these transactions, and then you copy these deltas to the clients. And then basically, all the clients and the master will end up with a table like this. So basically, by sending the copies of the difference to each client, that will make it like the same as the master. So that's basically the idea of the sync framework. So now let's see a little bit of code. So here, what I have is, this is the full project, the one that is open source. So there is just one library for the sync framework, and this is like all the definition and network communication, but there is no implementation there. So what it means is that we have the implementation for XPO, which is closed source, and then this is the implementation for entity framework, which is open source. So basically, we divided the core. So if we implement the interfaces in the right way, we will have we can implement it for different things like Mongo, for example, entity framework, and XPO. So let's see some code. In here, what is important is I have the unit, these are not unit tests, are integration tests. So here, basically, this is use a lot of dependency injection from NetCore or Net5 or Net6. And basically, I'm creating all the services needed for for instantiated two contexts. So one context is SQLite and one context is SQL Server. So if I go to definition, to the file. So one sec. Let's see context. So both SQLite context and SQL Server context, they are basically the same. They inherit from context base. So this is the one that inherits from a special context that we provide, or not this one. This one here. So we have created basically a SyncFramework DB context. If you inherit from it, you will have all the services needed to do database synchronization. So one DB context can be using SQLite, and the other DB context can be using SQL Server, for example, or Postgres. It's implemented for the three of them at the moment. So let me close all of this. Let's go back to the test. So basically, here we have all the services to instantiate these two contexts. Both contexts are the same. They contain the same structure. Basically, the same example that you see in the framework tutorials about blocks. So we use the same also. So here we delete both contexts and we recreate them again. And then we create some data, update it. Every time that we save changes, we are basically, if we go back to the presentation, every time that we save changes, see, we are creating one of these deltas. So if we put all the changes together, we will have the same database again. So save change, save change, save change. So basically, 3 deltas, then we push them to the server, then we pull them in the other context. So in the end, after I run all of this, and I'm doing that several times, then I create data in the SQLite context and save it and push it to the server. So basically, in the server, for this, we can use the PowerPoint again. In the server here, all the difference between all the clients and the master getting stored. So if you put them all together again, you will have a copy of the master in general. So see, I'm pulling and pushing in both contexts. So, and I basically do that loop all like a few times, just so both sides create deltas, because also it's important the order that you process them. So in this case, I just wanted to make sure that even if I send a lot of deltas, that all of them are being processed in order. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the connections strings that I'm going to use, and then just check those databases so you can see that they are exactly the same. So go to definition, and I think I have the connection string here. One of these. No, it's not this one. Oh, here we have it. So this will be the connection string for the SQL server, and there will be a local file called testdb for SQLite. So I will put a breakpoint here. So at this moment, both are created, and I mean, both are deleted and recreated. So they both should be empty. So let's run this. Let's stop there. I'm currently using Visual Studio 2022, so some stuff might explode. Okay, let's go back to the studio. And so far, so good. So it basically means that these databases are empty. So I hope I can open this while it's running. Go to the bin folder. And let's try to open that on SQLite. And it should be empty. I see blogs and posts. So browse, empty, browse, empty. So at the moment, well, let me show you also SQL Server. So the name of this database is EfBlock new. Okay, so here I have it. And if I show the tables, both are empty. So I will start inserting data on this. Okay, so I added the first blog. So if I come here and I check, let's refresh. I see, oh, I have not saved. So save and refresh. See, now it's here. And I will update this and save again. And let's check here. It also changed. So it's basically saving the data in the correct way. So I will continue. I will just, okay, so far I have done a few changes on the SQL Server context, but I have not pushed it to the server. So if I go and check the database from SQLite, there is still nothing there. So I push. Now I'm going to pull on the SQLite context. So if I go and refresh here, now I have data. And it's the same OID and the same values. So basically, I will continue till I'm here. Basically, both contexts should have the same amount of records. So let's finish. And let me show you this. So here we have 3 blocks and see the OIDs. And now let me show you also the SQL Server side. So let's refresh here. And we have the same 3 blocks. Maybe make this smaller. With the same OIDs. So basically the data is flowing both ways. These are database, the content of both databases is exactly the same right now. And basically all of that was done using the SyncFramework and the internal parts of Entity Framework. So in the next videos, I will be cleaning all this up and going through all the process about publishing the framework. So that's it for this video. I will write all the URLs on the description so you can take a look to this. And you can download the whole project, but in the end, the goal is to make nuggets and make examples and so on and so forth. So all this series of video will be about that process in general. So take care, guys, and see you on the next video.